stars and stripes than the star spangled that support me. Right beside me, dog. Siamese swords, fiery swords, shields with crest of the pedigree. Protecting me at level 3. I spout out bright lights when I feel the best. So breath control is similar to what you need to know before you let the deserts blow. That's word to Megatron. I'm spitting heat, transforming climates. I'm not into things that winter brings. I'm already gifted, holding like pots up, walking like pilots. I'm tougher than the leather they throw on the ox. When I started rhyming, especially for cheddar, I hit diamond, now I can tie everything together. Bows on the box. Anybody here know how to work these boards? Check. Can you hear me through the mic? No. Get that mic action. Mike Jackson. Jack. Oh yeah, you would do. Check. There you go. We got Soul Messiah in the building to help us on the sound. Please get Soul Messiah here, please. Our good brother. If you don't know, his artist goes by the name of Sarah. That is an AT-alien. She's as alien as you can get, right? From Serious Beat. And she is an MC subpar. Bars out of this world. Go and check her out. She got a video right now that just dropped about a month ago, right? It's on its way to 1 million. What's the name of it? Forever. And it's fire. So go and check it out, especially for those of us that hate what you hear on the radio. You still be doing a Millie Rock twit, though. We understand. Not that ass. We understand it takes you over. It is hypnotic, right? It's a hypnotic. The music is the dope right now. The music, they talk about an opiate crisis. Well, goddamn it. It seems to be a Snapchat, a trap rap crisis too going on. It's something that they're making addictive music now. What the Future say in the documentary with Sprite. He said, I go under this trance when I do the Molly and Perks because I'm trying to make music that's as infectious as the drugs, as addictive as these drugs. These people are flirting with addiction in order to do what? Make music, because what happens if you become a fiend? And I get paid by streaming. Huh? What happens if I have to, if I make a fiend out of you in Pleasantville, America, right? But I know that you're gonna buy all my merch, and when I pull up in Boise, Idaho, you're gonna buy tickets for you, your little buddies, you know what I'm talking about? And the homies in them. Right? So I'm gonna do more addictive. I'm gonna be in the studio and I'm gonna perfect the formula. I'm gonna tweak the formula. I'm gonna do what has to be done, right? In order to do what? Give the product to the zombie or to the client or to the J. I gotta feed you. You the fiend. So to try to convince the mumble rappers to stop mumbling and stop pushing weight and stop jugging, that's gonna be impossible. That's why they tell you in a polite way, nigga, you sound crazy. What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Like, are you serious? You can't stop that because you don't have anything, an option to provide us with. You don't have anything to replace the motherfucking finesse with. What you gonna give me? A deferred dream? Raisin in the sun? Huh? What are you gonna sell them? Yo, I promise you, if you stop doing that, you can be popping in 7 Nanda. Okay, I'll get you a discount card. You can go in there you can get some healthy food every now and then. Oh, you can sign up to the conscious community and you can almost lose your life in the chat rooms. You know what I'm talking about? You leave this and go into this environment. So leave the zombie state, the toxic world where the knuckle draggers reign. You dig what I'm saying? Free Rollo. And shit like that where people are living on they're not just flirting with death now, they're flirting with slavery. They're not just flirting with slavery now, they're flirting with mental health crises. They're not just flirting with mental health crises now, they're flirting with traumatic experiences that will scar you for life. Because if you entice me to do some shit that's gonna get me popped by a chopper or an AR-15, these niggas is running for military fire in the hood. Just to do what? Run from the plug. Just to do what? Take a nigga's weed bag and kick a door down and try to take something that's not yours. Tie somebody's babies up. Snake the next man. Order something on Uber Eats and then rob the guy. Hey, order a shorty off a back page and rape her and rob her and try to finesse her and get rid of her. There's all kind of shit going on, not just in Atlanta, all around America right now. You feel me? So people are enticing you to participate in making these decisions because remember, life is 0 and 1s. Yes and no's, 1 and 2s, like you see in the quote-unquote operation of the computer language. What are they operating off? 0s and 1s. This world that we live in called the Earth, or this planet that we live on called the Earth. I don't know the hermetic principles of Mars. I don't think any teacher came out with the hermetic principles of Uranus, or Jupiter, or Pluto, or Mars. But I know about the ones here, and they have a law that's called a law of duality. Everybody obeys that. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about whatever organization. I don't care if you got 9 or 6 ether. You obey what is known as the law of duality. Facts. So there's up and down. There's highs and lows. There's yes and no's. You obey the law of genders. Even if you're in a situation where you're not acknowledging that you're with your opposite gender, you're still falling under the auspices of gender. Because even in homosexual or what they call alternative relationships, you still have the male principle and the female principle, or the feminine principle and the masculine principle at play. Facts. So the law of duality, the decisions that we make are either yes or no. They're setting you up to make decisions because all it takes is one decision. I was on Wright Street before. I was in pre-trial before when I was out here running crazy in the 90s and whatnot. I know what this shit looks like. I was on what's that jail right there by Magic City? That's pre-trial. I was up in there. I got jammed up in goddamn Clayton County, nigga. I was on the farm. Where it takes 6 months to see the judge, but the judge owns the farm that owns the jail. And it's pure slavery in there. So I know what's going on out here. I live on Moreland Avenue. I could skip over there and pull up to the goddamn federal penitentiary in the Uber. Okay? And the shit takes up about 8 blocks. So our people in Atlanta being fed to a machine. They're creating cannon fodder out of the youth. They're basically killing off the potential of the black messiahs, those who are being born and raised up and actually agreed to come here, the indigos. Because you don't know inside of all of that carnage that is Atlanta, who are the gems that are being snuffed out every night. You can't decipher that. You don't know what's going on. You don't know about how many of your future leaders are basically on their knees every night at Morehouse or getting flipped and turned out inside of some of these clubs that they're being enticed to go into. You know what I mean? That they're getting duped to go into on some gay for pay stuff. Y'all know about gay for pay? No. Gay for pay in the motherfucking A. All right? Hold on. clutch your pearls because we're gonna talk about some grown shit. I'm talking about. Hold on, give me 1 second. We want to move the computer. Shout out to all of my brothers and sisters on the live stream. Give them a hand, please. All right. We have family in the building online. Salute to y'all. Welcome to welcome to the day. This is your good brother. We're doing a live stream of Melanin Mondays. We're going off the top because we're not waiting for this computer to load up. You know what the computer gods told me? They said, Red Pill, it's Melanin Monday. Nigga, go off the top like you always do. Speak from your heart. You're not reading off of the computer when you do Melanin Mondays. The lecture that we did yesterday, we're going to finish it at another time. Because if it's not coming up, that means it's for a reason. Just bear with the family. You feel me? So, what they're doing, gay for pay. These young men, right? And I'm not necessarily saying young based off of the age on your ID. You could be an 80-year-old young man. You could be a 50-year-old young man because you're thinking like a minor. You're thinking like a child. Remember, children are susceptible to influence by other people. Children are impressionable. So why is it that I'm seeing 60-year-old women dyking it? Why am I seeing great-grandmothers just deciding that they want to put a rainbow weave in and chill with an AG on Pine Street? What's going on Ponce de Leon? You decided that you wanted to do certain things. Why am I seeing grown men in their 60s or in their 40s looking like teenagers with their pants down, giving off stares to young women as if they were Quavo Takeoff in My Good Guy Offset? What's going on? They're looking at women like they're the amigos. Like, I'm tripping. They're at the gas station. You know what I'm talking about? Pumping gas. Trying to sleep with younger women. Looking like teenagers. So, when you're in that mind state, you're easily impressionable. When you're listening to those only 10 songs that they loop on the radio on a constant basis, that's basically mind control. That is what programming is. There are young men out here who feel like they have to be a part of society by actually becoming gay. Gay, in the gay world, there's a reward system. There's a pay-for-gay system where these young men are being tricked on by other men if they become gay. There are situations that young men are being told, yo, they're not hiring young niggas right now. Like, you can't get a job at Starbucks unless you act gay. Did you know that? Did you know there's a policy to not hire no real niggas? There's no real niggas there's no real niggas / baristas in Starbucks.
Wow.
Huh? There's a policy because the store is owned, the function out of Seattle. The board is ran by a group of men who have a certain kind of preference, and inside of their mission statement and also inside of the culture of their company, of their entity, they decided that they're only going to hire people of a certain kind of sexual preference to push an agenda and to push an archetype. The same thing that the Gap did successfully, and they say, hey, that shit works. Okay. Banana, Old Navy, the Gap, all one company, all one policy to hire the most effeminate men or the most effeminate specimen of the African American. By doing that, you're going to cut off the other prototype or the other archetype of the nigga, of the American Negro. Because once you close them out, what will they do? They will be impressionable and susceptible to do what? Get on their motherfucking knees to sit at our table. They got a seat at the table, but it's under the table, and they're on their knees. Facts. Because keep in mind, brothers and sisters from out of that community are not writing for the same thing that we're writing for. When it all boils down to it, we have to strip it down to its bare essentials and say to our family this. When in war, there's an edict that follows those that go to war. They get rid of a certain class of people when in war because they can't be trusted. I didn't make this up. I studied the science of war. I studied political science, and the shit reverberates throughout history every time I look at it. They get rid of the prostitutes. They get rid of the pimps. And they get rid of those who are not in control of their sexual nature, mainly their lower sexual nature, because those people could be susceptible to what? Impression. They're susceptible to their lower nature. So you have a contingency of our people who, when white people see them, they're like, oh, the niggas are not threatening. How about that? You might think that they're threatening, but they're not threatening, because the psychology is what? If we break you as a man, if we already conquered you and you're coming to us as a Roman, you're already coming to us as a Greek. You already came to us with your head in your fucking hands. You're not going to fight us. You're actually in love with our culture. Hold on. You're actually riding for our culture. Hold on. You're actually the eunuch who stands guard at the motherfucking castle in Rome or Greece, upholding our culture. You won't touch our women. You're good around them. But what do you push? Roman designers. You push Roman Catholicism. You push homosexual designers who all come out of Rome. So you push Roman designers. You push Roman lifestyle. And then when you get with the black women, you make them look Roman, because you beat their face and you put Roman wigs on them, Roman clothing on them, everything wrong. You convince them to go to Rome and sleep with white men. Am I lying? No. Is that not what they're standing for? Are they taking you to Wakanda? Are they outfitting you in the finest of African fabrics? Are they saying that we want to live an African way of life? The tenets, not the culture, not the colors, the tenets of the culture. Are they saying, yo, we want to have multiple wives and get this shit popping on multiple acres where we just build a tribe? You know what I'm saying? Just off of humping. That's the African way. What does the African man do? What is the African archetype of the African Godhead? The African Godhead got off of boats everywhere around America, and he did what? He multiplied. That's what he did. That's why we have royalty everywhere. You cannot, we claim the motherland, we claim Africa. That's the black dot. That's home base. That's our headquarters. But we took the show on the road. You find our royal families all around the world, because what was royal but our seed? There's nothing else royal but your seed. That's what builds royal families. Is it not? You got the sister trying to get married down in the UK right now, right? She met Prince Harry on Tinder, wherever they met, wherever y'all be, wherever the swirling takes place. You know what I'm talking about? Right after Serena, they got her out of here, she pulled up, and then she found this guy. The only reason that they're referring to as a royal is based off of the marriage. That's a ritual. They married into your royal families in the 15, 14, 13, 12, and 1100s. Some of them deboed in the 17 and the 1800s. Because keep in mind, this land, this red clay, remember, you got gold mountains. Do you know that? In North Georgia, the Blue Mountains, that was the first gold rush. Fact check, Snapple fact check. Blue, that's my Google. Blue pillar, living, breathing Google. They found gold. This was a gold rush. This is rich land. The Yazoo land there, look it up. Then I told you about all of the mounds that they excavated. They had all of the riches and all of these the stones that I'm wearing right now. These sacred stones. Okay, this vibranium around my neck. Crystal quartz, conductor of electricity. I'm able to receive downloads because I'm utilizing minerals. I'm tapped into the mineral kingdom. I'm tapped into the elemental kingdom. It is inside of me. I got gold inside of me. I got carbon inside of me. I have quartz inside of me. I got copper, silver, but I still adorn myself with it. It's not just gold. It's not just diamonds. God damn it, if niggas running around here, ice trade a game, well, God damn it, it's about 100 other different diamonds and rocks and stones. You're limiting yourself. You got to be colorful like Tekashi, 69. That nigga got all stones in his mouth. You can laugh at him all he want. He's cooking these niggas with a magical Mexican He's tapping into the trap god of Mexico. He's cooking niggas. He's doing some kind of magic. You can laugh all you want. I said it before. Mexicans are having the best week ever in hip hop. And so are Hispanics. Salute. So, you know what I mean? Look at Cardi. She's cooking. She's doing some sort of, they showed you the picture with the little candle behind her. If you don't think that they're cutting chickens up in wild closets in the Bronx, pushing that chicken head, then you got something, you're bugged out. You don't know what's going on. You don't know. You don't understand, like we were talking earlier. Dark magic, Atlanta, ATL. This is a very dark place. There's a lot of dark magic in the A. The niggas in them strip clubs are doing dark magic every night. The sisters in the strip club, they're tapping into the dark magic. They might as well have been on Doctor Strange movie because they're the ancient one tapping into that dark force. Manifesting thought, manifesting ideas. Yo, I want to be iced out. I want the new Bentley truck. I want a mansion in Buckhead. They're in a harem. Remember, these places are magical places because sexual energy is the most powerful. The orgone energy is the most powerful energy on the planet. It's a creative energy. If you could give birth out of your yoni, out of your stomachs, please give a hand for the sister here that's with child. Please give her all props. Or in her goddesshood. The same way that she could give birth to our loftiest ideas. Yes. Yes. Salute to both of you. So the same way that we give birth to our loftiest idea, and that is a child. I want the child. I want to recreate myself. I want to tap into my godhood. God is the co-creator. I want to recreate the better part of me because your child is going to be better than you because they don't have some of the impurities and all of the imperfections they're supposed to be an upgrade to who you are through DNA. I want my child to do better than what I've done. I want my child to be more powerful than me. I wore the cross. I went through this shit. I danced at Magic City. I twerked so she doesn't have to twerk. You know what I'm saying? I hustled so he don't gotta hustle. I killed so he don't gotta kill. Huh? Pause. I'm not talking about me. You know what I mean? Yes. Yeah, you can venture back.
That comment you made about you made a comment about Takashi and other people cooking up.
Yeah.
Our office is down in Midtown.
Midtown.
I pick up this little magazine called Creative Loafing. It's about the arts.
I know about Creative Loafing. I used to read that all the time.
I flip through it, and there's like 3 white women in there, and it says the witches are back. And basically, they're like the art schools are going into the street to get female white women who are witches, and they're bringing the witchcraft into the art schools, and they're trying to merge it. I'm just like, wow. And they say black magic, and it's white women.
Listen, the arts and sciences. The sciences is the magic. They showed you that in your favorite movie of all time, Black Panther. They were with his sister, and she said, "No, this is not magic. This is science." So the arts and the sciences are the magic. What they're doing in Hollywood is a mixture of magic and it's a mixture of the arts. When we start filming in this facility right here, because remember the screen, the wall is already green. We already got a green screen. When we put the footage inside of After Effects, Adobe After Effects and whatnot, we are utilizing a form of the sciences. But some people could say that's magic. You're changing environments. You're changing. You created a CGI character. You created a what? A golem. You built up an egregor, right? You consecrated something. You made an ogre out of nothing. That's why I told everybody, you play with it if you want. The evolution will be digitized. You better learn how to code. If you don't know how to code, your child should know how to code. They better learn how to digitize and build things in a 4D virtual augmented realities because that's where we're going. Don't get stuck on the quote-unquote Aquarian boat, or don't get stuck on a Piscean boat. Speaking of that 6'9", you know what I mean? Don't get stuck on a Piscean boat. jump on that Aquarian because the future is here and it's about the upgrade. If you don't realize that things are upgrading around you, then you're not paying attention to the world. Shit is downgrading and upgrading at the same damn time. You gotta identify if you're part of the upgrade. If the downgrade might look just like you. It might be your doppelganger, but you already know if it's not that frequency, if it's not the upgrade, it's the downgrade. You have to disassociate yourself from that which is not you. Okay? I almost died a walking death when niggas try to say I was like the average Negro. I do everything in my power and go at lengths to make sure when you see the God, you don't say this nigga's average. He's not one of those niggas. Because that's the death of me. If I were to ever be identified as that. Okay? I don't want to be the walking dead. And these children are walking around out here with the face tats, with the diamond chokers on. They're doing everything in their power of disassociation because they don't want to be identified with you niggas. They don't want to be average. They're like, yo, if I got to skate my way out of this shit, I don't want to be these niggas. So we're chastising them for who they decided they want to become, but they don't realize that these young men are running away. And some of these young men, they're running away from the archetype of a prototype of people or a species of us that they don't want to identify with. They're like, fuck it, I'm just going to go all savage on you niggas. I'm just a savage. I'm spraying everything. God damn it, I got tattoos on my eyelids. You know what I'm saying? I'm that savage. I'm that much against the hate you gave little infants. Fucks everyone. I'm that much against the status quo. I'm that much against the OGs who let me down. I'm that much against the men who may have molested him. Because a lot of these young men are crying out. Some of these sisters that are walking around butt naked because of the hurt that a man or a woman or somebody who are older than them, who they trusted, betrayed in them. So their display is a huge middle finger. Whatever it may be. It might be the see-through Victoria's Secret shirt that shows the areola on fleek. It might be the freakum dress and you working at Starbucks. Mom, it's the wrong time to wear that. That shit should have a curfew. Freakum dress comes with a curfew. Only comes on at 6 p.m. until, like, damn, ma, it's the daytime. You know what I'm talking about? You wearing the shit with the see-through bottoms in the daylight. You know what I'm talking about? That's only vampire clothing. You know what I'm saying? That's for motherfucking, what's my guy, Wesley Snipes? Blade. That's for Blade in them. You wear that shit at night. They're wearing nighttime, daytime clothes now. You understand? Lingerie in the daytime. Motherfucking stripper shit that comes on after the lunch special, they're wearing that in the daytime. They dressing naked at church. Is that not a big middle finger? And everybody got a horror story attached to them. So there's a rebellion going on. There's a gender war. There's a culture war. There's a war of the motherfucking ages. You know what I mean? Old against young. Light against dark. There's a war online on the internet with light-skinned team, light-skinned niggas, and the dark-skinned niggas. You know what I'm saying? There's all of these civil wars going on. We have to decide, are we going to lend all of our energy, all of our time, all of our life force to these distractions? Because right now we're sitting inside of a facility when everybody inside the echo chamber, it's millions of people inside of the echo chamber, and all they were asking for is an institution, right? You've had brothers crowdfunding for years to get institutions. You have people on 125th Street appealing to the sensitivities and the empathy of the listening audience so they could fund and open up an institution. How many square feet is inside of this building? Do you know? What is the square footage of this facility? 2,400 square feet. And the good news is it's ours. Okay? We have access to 2,400 square feet in the historically black West End. Because somebody was like, yo, I pulled up in the West End the other day. My brother, I was waiting for a brother to go on the West End Mall to get some sneakers. Yo, Red, that shit is zombie land. That shit look crazy out there, bro. Look, I couldn't even stay for 10 minutes. I was like, fam, some of the best work that I've ever done is in some of the darkest places on this planet. The plants, the vegetables, the baby inside of her womb grew in the darkness. Okay? They grow in the nighttime. Ask any farmer, when does the vegetables, when does the produce, when do your crops grow? He would explain to you under the moonlight, under the UV rays. That's when things are growing. Blue Pill brought us some of that wisdom. Under the UV rays is where growth takes place. So in some of the darkest places in America, remember all of the murder capitals, this lecture that I was going to show y'all was going to blow you away. Let me not even talk about it, because you might walk out and leave. You understand? But all of the places where the top 10 murder capitals of the world are all of the places that have been introduced to us where one of our young brothers and sisters were killed by the police, either in an unarmed state of manner, or the case got acquitted and thrown away when we all knew that it was murder, right? So in some of those darkest of places where Black Death is the order of the day, at an all-time high, where even the police is, because you saw what happened with the Baltimore case with the crooked cops. You thought The Wire had a final season? No, it's The Wire on all kind of heroin. It's The Wire on dog food, the shit that just got revealed in this case. They basically said we were doing everything that Denzel was doing in Training Day. Facts. And this shit is on record. So if that's the murder capital of America, is it far-fetching to say that they were the ones killing niggas? Is it far-fetched to say that some of the ops is going down in Chicago is not the motherfucking black ops? It doesn't have to be the police. It could be Blackwater. It could be Russian mercenaries. It could be people that they ordered off of the dark web. They got security teams. They got kill squads. Body of niggas. They bodied Prince. They bodied Michael Jackson. And they bodied Whitney Houston. All of our greatest celebrities who had beef with all of the labels based off of both their intellectual property and their masters, all of them got questionable deaths. The doctor of Michael Jackson, he did a skid bit for killing him. Now the doctor for Prince said, oh yeah, I fucked up the prescription and gave this nigga the Mickey, the fentanyl. The same thing that killed Little Zane. No, it's Little Zane. Little P. Little P got fentanyl, right? He went and copped, and a shorty gave him the cut with the fentanyl in it and bodied him, and then she bragged on the internet that she bodied him. The doctors who killed our legends, our icons, bragged about it. No smoke whatsoever. They didn't even get ran off of Twitter. They're walking around like Malcolm X's killers walking around, taking selfies and shit. Let's see what's my good side. Oh, there you go. Malcolm X's killer is walking around the tri-state area. For all of these niggas that act like they want to smoke and they want to revenge the Prince. His killer went and did a bid and came home. And when he was locked up, nobody could touch him. He was untouchable. He was bulletproof. For 44 years, how about that? His gun went off in the yard if need be. You know what I mean? So I don't believe our people when they say that they would kill for us. I don't believe our people when they say that they got niggas' backs and all. I don't believe you niggas because you don't have no smoke in you. You're not like the dragon off of Game of Thrones. You got no smoke in you. You know what I mean? I'm just showing you what other people are seeing, and they're weighing us against that. There's certain things that I can't even talk about because we're live streaming right now. But God damn it, how many L's is black society going to take when you put a message out to the world that you're unfuckwittable? Huh? That your goons and your goblins and your savages, all 21 of you, that you put in mad work, that your chopper goes off, that you go in the Draco, you go in the Waco with the Draco, and if you catch a black in the traffic, what? Waco. Better get makeup. That's what these niggas say. But after dunk after dunk, L after L after L, strike after strike after strike, bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb, bullet after bullet after bullet after bullet. You get a motherfucking no response. You get a cricket. You get people waving signs. Calf muscle on fleek, Fitbit crashing because there's so many people marching. So many people marching, Fitbit crashed. That's all you get. So we're saying we don't participate in that. We not with the fuck shit. Because some of the brothers and sisters did participate, they fell for that, and they became part of the marching scene, and they became part of the scene where you're being watched and you're getting facial recognition by all of these drones, and the Hubble telescope is looking at everybody that got a permit to show up in a place they said, a designated place you niggas can stand with your bullhorns and march. They are killing those brothers. I showed you yesterday that they catching bodies of those people who were at those marches, and nobody got a response for that. So in Atlanta, in the year 2018, you living in a precarious time where you can make history and do things that have not been done before. And the only thing that it's going to take for you to do it is coming together as what? A cooperative. Nobody asked you to join an organization. Nobody told you to believe it, because I don't have a God. My mama's my God. You understand? And when I look in the mirror, I see God. Right? A reflection of a higher power who fragmented him or herself into 8 or 9 billion pieces. And through each experience that these pieces are having is doing what? Feeding that higher power who will never be able. God don't know what it feels like to bust a nut doing a handstand. Only the person that he created and he put on this planet could do that. That's the experiences that you upload into what? The quote-unquote hard drive or the operating system that's known as God. I am what? A spiritual being having a human experience on this planet Earth. And I obey the laws of this earth as it was written. I gotta breathe oxygen. That's the law. I gotta put on 2 pants. I gotta put on my pants on 1 leg at a time. I obey gravity. If I jump up, I'm not gonna stay up there. Okay? The law of duality, the law of genders, the law of vibration, the law of correspondence, the law of rhythms. I obey those laws on this planet. When I go to sleep, I'm breaking the motherfucking law. I'm an outlaw. I'm flying through shit. I'm crashing through. I'm pulling up on shorties, not in your DM, but in your dreams. Yeah. I'm saying, hey, how you doing? Right in your window. You know what I'm saying? I'm on other planets. I'm blowing shit up. I'm catching bodies. I'm pulling up on my ops. You understand? I'm even putting them in compromising positions in the red light district and taking pictures of them. And letting them know, I got you, my nigga, on the spiritual realm. Check me. I'm doing all these things because that's the opportunity that you have afforded to you a few hours out of your day so you don't fucking lose it on this planet. You know what I mean? That's the recharge. They showed you that in the movie Avatar. With the depiction was with the Jim Sully, who was in a wheelchair. He was cut off, right? That lower part of him was cut off and was paralyzed. He was in a wheelchair. He was in the ship. He went to sleep and he did what? Incarnate on a physical plane that body couldn't live on because of the laws of the planet of Pandora. So he had to do what? He had to go into an avatar. He had to go into a spacesuit. What is our bodies? Our bodies are nothing but a motherfucking spacesuit. A mighty fine looking spacesuit, might I add, but you know, a spacesuit nonetheless. Because when you die, you go back into the earth. If I was to, my inevitable date were to come right now, because we all got a date, and I check out, you could put my body in my backyard and it will grow plants, trees, fertilize the soil, the minerals will go back into the land, the water will go back into the land. It would feed predators or other organisms like worms and things of that nature, because all we are animated spacesuits. You ever touch somebody at a funeral or a wake? That's not them. The animated aspect of their spirit is gone. You're only touching the husk. You know what I mean? That's like a Bentley with no engine. You ain't going nowhere. That's why I don't like going to wakes and funerals, because I want to remember you the way that I've known you, with your animated spirit. That image of you may stay with me, and it may traumatize me. And every time I think about you, I'm only looking at your corpse. When I make my transition, the request is to burn my body. I want to be cremated. My father, that's his wish. My biological father, who's still alive, his wish is he wants to be cremated. I'm following in his direction. I don't know why. I'm just saying. You know, what are you going to do with my body? It's the spirit. It's the memory. It's what you put. It's what you did on this earth. It's how you immortalize yourself through your intellectual property and things that you left behind. Case in point, what Tupac did. I don't care about his body. His body of work speaks for himself. So what are you doing here? Are you going to be a part of making history? We're going to do it in the West End. Facts. We're going to do it in the West End in a fast amount of time. Like I said, if you have a social place, if you have a fixed location, you can make history. We showed you that in Harlem. And we did more with less. Now, a brick and mortar where you could come inside and the same thing that you see when you come to Harlem, with all of the tables set up, that's the same thing that you can see inside of this facility or this institution, where there will be multiple merchants set up. You can hold your money from Saturday to Saturday and say, you know what? Instead of going to Target, or instead of going to Walmart, or instead of going to Piggly Wiggly's to go and get some shea butter, I'm going to wait until this weekend, and I'm going to do what? I'm going to circulate my currency with one of my own, because we spend money, but we don't circulate it. The circulation is when the shit goes like this. That's how you build nations. That's how you rebuild from the place that you're in. That's how you crawl out of poverty, by circulation. I could do the case study. Every single nation, every single person, every single movement, every single organization is doing the good thing, that's living the good life, that's living its best life, is doing that. They're circulating their dollars. The continental African comes into America from shanty towns, and he busts you niggas' ass, showing you how to do this, son. He circulated the dollar. The Asian and the Korean, they circulate their dollar. The Jew, they circulate their dollar. We are spending the dollar. When you spend your seed, you waste life. When you spend your dollar, you waste money. You're putting it in the hands of people who are running away with it, and they will never bring it back to you. You got to circulate the dollar. So you pull up on a Saturday to a marketplace. This is a marketplace. This is a Black-owned, Black business marketplace. Moorish-owned, Aboriginal-owned, Kemetic, metaphysical, whatever you want to call it, consciously woke business, open-air marketplace. And then you come amongst the vendors, who I identify as small businesses, who I identify as billion-dollar entities. Because remember, consciousness is a trillion-dollar entity. Facts! Black Panthers, Afrofuturism, how much did it make? The shit was unapologetically black, and it was Afrofuturism. How much did it make? Octavia Butler's Afrofuturism, Sun Ra, Afrofuturism. Okay, Sophia Stewart with The Matrix. That was an Afrofuturistic movie. The Matrix is one of the hallmarks of Afrofuturism. Facts. Because keep in mind, remember, Neo was who? Will Smith, right? And the Terminator and the Matrix was the same. It was the same story. So your intellectual property is worth billions of dollars. They ripped her off and they made $1 billion franchise off of her ideas, her intellectual property, her Afrofuturism, the clothing. Apparel is in the millions of dollars. Billions, I'm sorry, billion. Right? The jewelry, the fine jewelry, might I add. The stones, the sacred stones. The stones that have their own market. Do you know that? No, real talk. Are you aware that stones have their own stock market? It's called a rock market. Why? Because these shits do what they say that they're going to do. They're not like people that we know. They're not here to sell you a dream tattoo, Fantasy Island ass niggas. The rocks do what they said they're gonna do. A diamond said that it was gonna drip. Did it drip? Did the nigga drip?
Yes, he did.
Huh?
Yes, he did.
Ice traded gang. Is it blinging? The copper said that it was gonna do what it was gonna do. It's a conductor of electricity. Everything, all wirings in the houses, isn't doing what it says it's gonna do. Did the copper say, I'm going on strike because I want my reparations? It's white people been pulling from, you know what I mean, copper for too long. No! The copper don't got an attitude. The copper don't got a consciousness. The copper, the diamond does, the carbon does what it says it's gonna do. The copper does what it says it's gonna do. The amethyst, all of the properties of the stones they're fixed. They do what they do. So there's a stock market for that. Health and wellness is $1 trillion industry. Information that Dr. Sadie shared with the family before he made his, I won't even say untimely, before he made his exit. Dr. Sadie told you that he lived 2 lives. He died and was born again. He achieved consciousness in his late 30s. He was a nigga before that. He was dead, and then he was Benjamin Button. He was dead, and then he was born again. So if Sadie could turn on in his 30s or his 40s and become who he is, you don't have any excuse. Like I said, you have to have a reference point in which to measure your level of growth. How can you know your scale if you don't know where you came from, if you have nowhere that you came from? I want to hear all of your horror stories, not right now, and not while I'm sober, and not back to back, because, you know, you got to do the Reiki and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? You got to whoosah a little bit. You got to go to Shasta Mountains and hug a tree or two and get it off of you, but then come back. But this is what we do. We absorb a lot of pain. We absorb a lot of things. And what do we do as alchemists? We turn base metal into gold. That's something that that's a skill that I've acquired by being in this community. That's a skill that I acquired even when I was in the quote-unquote streets. But it's perfected. I've been able to strengthen it and perfect it whilst in this community. So the future is in front of you. There's a lecture that I have called Facts 2020. It's a revival of the Facts Initiative that I introduced many years ago. I had to take a step back and look at what was going on in the blockchain world. Look at what's going on with Ethereum. Look at what's going on with the crypto. How many people got crypto by a show of hands? That shit bubbling right now. Facts. All right, they burnt out all of the motherfuckers who wasn't real gamblers, who didn't know about high risk. Because if you live in Atlanta and you trapping, high risk. If you booty clapping, high risk. If you running around working for white people, high risk. Some of you niggas be taking trips with the clan into the woods to install Wi-Fi. Oh God, yeah, you niggas are brave. You niggas got balls, you know what I'm talking about? Because they'll get you. Look at what happened to the CDC doctor. Look at what happened to a lot of our people. A majority of those hanging pictures that you see in Without Sanctuary, a lot of those brothers got set up by Europeans that either worked for them, that they knew that they were going into business deals and all kind of stuff. Remember, they were killing off their competition. Go and do the research. I always tell people about Wilmington, North Carolina, 1898. That's the only coup that they did in America that still exists right now. There was something worse than Black Wall Street that took place in Wilmington, North Carolina in 1898. That is on record to say that's when a European got hold of the South after deconstruct. That's when a European who lost the quote-unquote Civil War during that coup. It was that coup that allowed them to take the South back. Facts. Because they chased the government out of North Carolina, they took over the magistrate, they took over the court system, and they killed off all of the prominent people and put the rest of them on trains and said, niggas, if you come back, we got that smoke for you. And they created what is known as the Solid South. Do the research on the Solid South. The Solid South is what you see where all of them they all connected. It's a secret society, and they hold solid power over niggas. That's what happened. It's the only successful coup that still exists. There was a coup d'etat on a black wealthy to-do town in the Carolinas, right in North Carolina, called Wilmington. You familiar with Wilmington? Now when you go into the Carolinas, our people are there, but they're under a spell. Our people are there, but our people are doing good, but they also, when you look at the percentage that they're feeding into the cannon fodder, you know how they put the little baby chicklets and make them chicken McNuggets? You ever seen that where they just put them in a grinder? They put mad little chicklets, and them little niggas is coming out like nuggets. So they feeding our people into the nugget machine, but we're holding up the 4 or 5 sisters that's making it the Predators on 800 on fleet. You know what I mean? And they're doing good, and they got doctorates and whatnot, and a few brothers and whatnot. They, beer gang, and they're doing real good. They, you know what I'm saying? They got jobs with legal firms, and you know what I mean? But no, they're killing off your future. These children are succumbing to a way of life that's subscribed as the death culture, right? They're not thinking futuristic. They're not talking blockchain, cryptocurrency, even if they got the bag. How you got the bag and you're not into any kind of, you're not even invested in crypto? Nigga, do you know if you put $10,000 in blockchain or into cryptocurrency, you could have 100 million in 1 year? Money supposed to grow. You don't sit on money. You don't hoard your money. You don't stash and hide it. That brings what? Rats and mice. That brings the vultures. You're supposed to do something to do what? Enhance whatever experience. I remember when I was young out here, I was never into drug dealing, but I was attracting a lot of fiat, a lot of money. You know, when you're young, you're a magnet to money. You know what I'm talking about? And then niggas wind up with midlife crises. How does that happen? Because you're always attracted to the material at a younger age. You don't have the complexities of this quote-unquote spiritual realm or the spiritual world because you have not evolved yet. You didn't have revolutions around the sun. I don't give a fuck how, you know what I mean? You could be 18, but until you reach 40, there's a level of experience, there's a level of wisdom, there's a level of information that's going to be revealed to you that's not going to come to you at 40. You could be a wise young nigga. I get it. I've met some of them. You know what I'm talking about? Old souls and shit. But imagine you at 70, old young nigga. You know what I mean? Imagine how wise you'll be then. There are certain things that are released. DNA, they call it junk DNA. It's based off of the revolutions, time release. So based off of these revolutions around the sun, it's based off of how it's released. So certain information is going to come to you in your midlife crisis at 30. You're like, damn, I see things differently. There's certain kind of ways that I'm just cool now. You know, baby mama be dogging me, talking crazy, you know what I'm saying? Cursing me out. My man's in them is talking mad wild to me. Little niggas in the street on the bus and whatnot. You know, I'm just cool. I'm on my old man shit. Hey, whatever. You know what I mean? I'll live to fight another day. You know what I'm saying? God bless you, good brother. You know what I mean? Jesus loves you. He's going to take the wheel. But 20 years ago, you was having straight shootouts. You know what I mean? You was doing knockouts. You know what I mean? You was world starring niggas. They like, oh, the old heads get softer. No, you understand what legacy is because you've multiplied yourself. You have a responsibility for your legacy. You have a responsibility for your progeny. You know avoiding battles. You know avoiding frivolous skirmishes could potentially risk your life because I'm fighting to kill. I'm going in for the kill, the knockout or the kill. At this age, I can't settle for anything else. You know what I'm talking about? So why risk my freedom? Why put my life on the line to fuck with your misery? Because you're miserable. So you're a version of the Japanese kamikaze fighter. It's niggas that come strapped with bombs. We already have Palestinian bombers amongst us. You know what I mean? They'll sacrifice their freedom to put you in jail. They'll sacrifice their husk, They'll sacrifice their life and put themselves on a cross and make you put their head on a chopping block and make you cut their heads off and then be like, yo, their head will turn around to Pet Detective and also Ace, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And be like, he did it.
No.
That's how far this demonic, malefic spirit world or these spiritual entities will encompass into a husk. A husk that's susceptible to being possessed. Because remember, dark magic matters. No, black magic, because Black Lives Matter, black magic matters. And a lot of people are utilizing that, even if they don't know it, because they listen to the music and they're on that frequency where the shit is already operating in cruise control. It's already a form of the darker energy. You're tapping in to that 70% of dark matter that's surrounding you that you can't see, but you can feel it. You can feel it. You get on pharmacopoeia, you go ahead and get on drugs, you defocalize so you can tap even further into it. Okay? And you pull from that realm things that you want, and things that you want to happen, and people that you want to take care of, motherfuckers that you want to move out of your way, and all kind of other things. Some people take it further to where they're doing blood sacrifices. Some people take it further to where they'll dance butt-ass naked with some motherfucking drums and whatnot in front of a room full of people, titties going everywhere, you know what I'm talking about? You know, phallus swinging all over the place. They don't care. They'll get possessed and do the work because they know that the work has to be done. There was an episode of American Gods. How many people watched that? Show of hands. That's a must watch. Shit is deep as hell. The first episode opened up and it showed the Vikings pulling up into North America, right? The Vikings wanted something to happen. They trying to summon their god because their ship got stuck. So they needed their god to blow air or the wind. They wanted to tap into the air element of whatnot. You know, you have the air elements. They wanted the air element to help blow the sails so they were docked. They wanted to undock themselves and get into the water. Nothing, the God did not, it didn't budge. They were lighting fires and everything, trying to call on their God. It was only when they shed blood. It was only when they made a blood sacrifice did the wind start to blow. Because their God was a God who only wanted blood and fire. Blood and fire is active principles. Once blood and fire is involved in any kind of situation, shit is moving. When them little niggas started burning down Baltimore, that shit moved rapidly. They was rapido. That's the only Spanish word that I know watching Netflix, because all of the Pablo Escobar and all of the shits that I be watching, all of the rapido. I ain't no Spanish now. You know how niggas be like, I speak 6 languages. Well, I speak 4 now. Okay. I got, I know Wakanda. I know rapido. You know what I'm saying? I know bonjour. You know what I'm saying? And I speak nigga English. Yeah. So, I mastered 4 languages. But we got to understand that, these people are feeding off of our energies. They're feeding off of our fears. They're feeding off of the attention that you give them. I'm talking about the white man, the black man, the conscious man, the unconscious man, the ratchet consciousness. You know what I'm talking about? The trappers, the rappers, all of them. We have to start to focus on what is going to work for us. What is working for us? We don't have much but each other. What works for me is when we get together. That's some of the most beautiful experiences that I can share in this conscious community. It's one of the only things that's keeping me in this goddamn community, because I can leave. Do you know that? Like, I could jump ship and, you know what I'm saying, take that position in Starbucks that they were offering me after the melee. They were like, red and blue, you could become the top barristers. We're willing to, you know what I mean? You a Hotep Jesus. You know what I'm saying? We could become full-time rappers. Real talk. We could say fuck the community and go get signed to Def Jam or whatever. And just, you know what I mean? And just be at Coachella, you know what I'm saying? Taking selfies with Becky's on niggas. and then come up with elaborate excuses why it's cool to be with the baby. Free Kanye. So, you know, we have to come together. I believe that in the audience and amongst your networks and amongst those, the people that you're going to attract with your light is the answers that we need. We need videographers, okay? We need script writers. We need interior designers. We need illustrators. We need graphic designers. We need people who know how to code, right? We need people who know the art of making films. We need people who know the art of war. We need security personnel, people who are going to train the people, because we have facilities that they're ready to train you. I'm talking about not regular, here's a target. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about tactical training. I'm talking about security firms, people who have, they have certificates. They train with the European. They train with the Israelis to get the information, and they got it for you. Every sister that's in this room, we're in an open carry state. When I pulled up in Atlanta on Saturday, you know, everybody was waiting for people to come and pick them up. One brother had a brother pull up. This little nigga was like 4 feet 5 inches. He hopped out the whip and had 2 hammers in his pockets with the extendo. This little nigga had an extendo sticking out of one pocket and a hammer in the other pocket. And he was so cool and nonchalant that I know that this nigga had a permit. I wasn't finna ask him. I wasn't become David Hogg and be like, excuse me, I'm from Parkland. And I was just wondering if you were ready to give up your guns for the children. You know what I mean? No. He had an open carry permit. So I'm like, hold on. They let niggas just open carry out here? And we have conversations about what to do and how to do and all of this crazy fucking talk. Like, I'm in New York. That's a reality that we've never seen. We don't even know what that looks like. That shit is beyond our focal points. I saw it in Texas. I just saw it the other day out here. I saw it in Detroit with my good brother Zed out of New Era, Detroit. I pulled up at Nandi's Cafe. He had the blicky on his hip, just chilling, big dog shit. I'm like, God damn it. Is this allowed in the community? You know what I'm saying? So you'll never see the police amongst us. You're going to see the private security firms. It doesn't matter. If you could carry a gun, nigga, you don't got to be the police. My man could take care of anything, or my men and my women, they can take care of any threat and sign the same paperwork that the pigs, that some of you niggas is rolling with, can sign. The police is at war with us. So that's a no-go. And no black police that I've known has ran around and clipped. They not clipping General Butt Naked, who killed the 4 people in the Waffle House. They didn't clip the bomber in Austin. They didn't clip. They didn't slip up and just clap Zimmerman by, the gun went off by mistake. Like, you know how they kill us? And be like, my bad, we was reaching for the taser, and we hit him with the chopper. How you don't know the feeling of a trigger versus your taper? Like, stop it. So I don't even trust law enforcement that look like us, because they haven't shown us that they're ready to deputize. They haven't deputized themselves and did any work putting W's on the board for our people. And that's not to say that I'm mad at them, because some of my supporters and customers who pull up in Harlem are people who belong to law enforcement agencies. But when they finish talking to the pill, I charge them to do something to help our people be more transparent. Expose the quote-unquote white man. Expose the departments. Break the wall of silence. So we're going to see what? We're going to have security personnel who are armed to the motherfucking teeth. But if it even gets to that, if it ever gets to that, it will not be anybody who is of that ilk. It's going to be private security firms. They're ready to train you. They're ready to protect you. They're telling me to let the sisters know, by any means necessary, get your gun license and go and train. You are responsible not only for you at the end of the day, you are responsible for those seeds. because it might get crazy out here. These niggas might go crazy. They're on the verge. They filmed The Walking Dead in Georgia. Why? Because the extras are already dead. Them niggas just show up. You're like, I think they just send a van on Vine Street and just be, you know how they be netting shrimp and shit? They just net niggas like, pull them to the set.
No.
It's wild zombies walking around this bitch, unmolested, looking for brains and all kind of other things. A lot of places that I go look just like that. We was in Kentucky, zombie. They took us on a strip that was zombied out. Blue was on the West Coast, zombied out. He was in Skid Row, the shit endless. All of the homeless people in New York, right on Lexington Ave, 20,000. But guess what? We have a facility, not this facility that we're talking about. We also have, what's the square footage of the place over down in the lofts? 4,000 square feet. I'm not going to talk about this shit. The power that we have in our hands is we are media, and we operate on multiple platforms. We're global networks. I don't got to talk about it. I just got to press record and show the family before and after. I'm not big on before because our people are so fucked up that they don't believe in, they can't see an empty space like this. They're not developed visionary-wise. They have not developed the vision to say, yo, I can see it all. So sometimes for the dream killers that are out there, they're not privy to our dreams. They're not privy to our visions. That's why I just made a call out to the people that I need. There's a team that I need to operate with to make change. One of my brothers that just walked in the building, he's part of my team right here. This is my brother 19 Keys. Please stand up. All right? Give that man a hand, please. You know, I want you to say some words when we close it out. But the team that we're going to need, if we get 10 of you, it's beautiful. If we get 100 of you, it's even more beautifuler. If we get 1,000 of you, that'll be the beautifulest thing in the world. If we get 10,000 of you, then we're going to be moving at a faster pace than we would if we had 1,000. And if we get 100,000 of you, we're going to change everything in a year. And I'm not talking about going to war. The only war that we're going to go to war with is our poverty consciousness, our lower selves, and that nigga that resides inside of all of us. That's what we're going to eradicate first. That's what we're going to straighten up first. That's what we're going to master first. Because you can't talk war with anybody else when the reason why they exist is because you're at war and you're losing to your lower self. As above, so below. All is mental. They don't exist if you niggas if you didn't fall. You know what I'm saying? They're an emanation. Guess what? When the body is cancerous, what shows up? White blood cells. When a community is cancerous, who shows up? White blood cells in Starbucks. Whole Foods, Starbucks, all of the bubs, the pubs where they drink, the breweries. It's breweries and Starbucks. When that shows up in your community, that means that their protracted war, their economic war that they've been planning and putting forth is underway in that community. They're not going to gentrify it. They're going to take it over and economically do what? Suppress the people that get under like they're going to economically suppress the people who are residents of said community. That's how they do it. Do you know that stress kills? Do you know if they raise up the cost of living amongst the people whose wages and also your stream of income has not increased, that it's going to cause higher stress? Do you know the majority of black women are single mothers? Do you know the stress of motherhood in and of itself? So if you're in communities where the cost of living is raising exponentially and nobody is giving you a solution on how to keep up, it's going to induce stress. It's going to induce stress. You're going to compromise. You might even compromise what? Yourselves. Because you're going to be under the auspices that white men who live in these new castles that they're building in your ghettos, because they're paying $4,000 rents, you're going to say what? Because you're about security. you're about protection, and you about the bag. You're going to say it because he's going to propose it to you where? At the pub that they set up, because they set the pubs up to do what? To put your ass under the spirits, to put you in a drunken state while they whisper all of that Wakanda shit in your ear. All of that Dora Milaje shit. Okay? All of that Gary Owens shit. All of that Robin Thicke shit in your ear. All of that scandal shit to you because what? They already got the prototype. They have the talking points. They figured this shit the fuck out. Hotep, sis, Nubian queen. You know what I'm talking about? Beloved. Yeah, they got it. They got the game. They downloaded it. The Hoteppers sold it to them, or maybe Black Lives Matter. I don't know. But they frequent the websites. They watch all of the videos that you watch. I was on Wall Street one day. This little nigga looked like Christian Bale. He was like, yo, Red Pill, keep burning fire. I was like, what's wrong with this picture? How do you know the God? Identify yourself. He was a genuine fan. Genuine fan. The shit fucked me up. I'm like, what part of the conversation are you what? You know what I'm saying? What do you relate to, my guy? Like, what part of the talk is close to you? I don't get it, but they watching. So, cooperative economics. We're creating through the Facts 2020 initiative. We have our app is coming back. Our app is actually, is it in the store right now, Brother Blue Pill? Because it's on your phone, right? The app, is it on your phone right now? So it's in the stores? I believe so. So the app is called Know the Ledge. This app is going to be akin to a membership site. We have a membership site that follows that. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. It's for Apple. It's for Google as well. If you don't find it in the store at this moment, then you could bet you about $1 that it will be in there this week. Because you know when they upload it, it takes certain days. But we had to take it down and revamp it. And we're bringing it back. This app was downloaded the first time. The 1.0 was downloaded about 40,000 times. I have a goal to have 30,000 members inside of the initiative because that's the numbers that it's going to take in order for this wheel to move in the way that it has to move. 30,000 times 20 is $600,000. We're about to, me and my brothers, 19 Keys, Pop Darby, Red and the Blue, and we're also going to bring other people on. Hopefully my brother Raspy Rolls, maybe Derek Grace, brothers and sisters that are out here doing things, the new energy, the new bloods, the ones who are coming in with their eyes wide open, the ones who represent the new generation. We're getting behind these brothers and sisters. We're campaigning and going across the Chitlin circuit. We're going across the Midwest, the quote unquote, what was that Ben Ishmael triangle? What was the name of that triangle, Blue? Do you remember it? Ben Ishmael triangle? Then our ancestors, the Aboriginal ones, traveled between Chicago, Detroit, and I believe it was Indiana. You know what I'm saying? That was the same way that you travel on a Silk Road. They were doing business, they were building and doing all of that stuff. We're going to travel the same path that our ancestors traveled when they was nation building, mound building. You understand? And we're going to do these lectures, and we're going to do these seminars, and we're going to rally our people to just download the app. Just download the app. We're going to do live streams. We're going to go viral. We're going to do Breakfast Club interviews. We're going to do what it takes. If I got to come up with a new dance,